In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and peace be upon you. It's May 8th, Friday afternoon in Pakistan, day 160 of Asim Munir's de facto Form 47 military rule. There are many important news stories today, such as the current political regime not having the draft of the 28th Amendment. The poor things are trying to get Chaudhry Nizamuddin to give them a glimpse of this draft somehow. Now they're going to the lawyers and telling them to use their forum somehow. They're asking the lawyers to show them a glimpse of this draft, which will decide their future political life through the Pakistan Bar Council or some other forum. But Chaudhry Sahib is keeping it hidden. This is an important story and we'll discuss it in detail. Along with that, the Director General of ISPR has some more remarkable requests or decrees, and we'll talk about those too. Because he has called himself an instrument of violence, he has personally labeled himself and the Pakistan Armed Forces as a violent force. Academically, such things are discussed, but should he have said this in a press conference or not? We'll talk about that as well. There's plenty of other news, but first let's look at the war front, because a very special report has come from Iran. You might remember that the New York Times, the Washington Post, and all the major outlets like the Wall Street Journal and other big magazines, newspapers, and broadcasters were all breaking the same news. And that news was that Mojtaba Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iran, Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei, is severely injured. He has sustained serious injuries to his legs, his face is burnt, and he's currently unable to hold any meetings. Various newspapers wrote about these different types of injuries and his condition. But they all concluded that he's currently unfit to run government affairs or meet anyone. However, the current Iranian president has now made a bombshell revelation. Speaking at a public event, he shared with everyone that he recently met with Mr. Mojtaba Khamenei, and their meeting lasted for 2.5 hours. He said that everything was discussed in it, that whether it's negotiations or war, and the decisions Iran has to make in the coming days. He discussed everything in detail with the Supreme Commander, the Supreme Leader. This is a major story because until now, everyone was saying that Mojtaba Khamenei, the Supreme Leader of Iran, was not yet effectively exercising his powers. After this revelation by the Iranian president, at the very least, this will be a major development regarding who is making decisions, who will make the final calls, and who will give approvals. Now, let's move on to the next story, which is also from the battlefield. The news is that Marco Rubio, who as you know is currently the US Secretary of State, has gone straight to Rome. You might recall that a few weeks ago, President Trump had a direct conflict with the Pope. The Pope he said that those who are imposing war right now will face the wrath of God, the wrath of the Almighty, and those who are committing atrocities against God's people or disrupting their peace will have to answer on the day of judgment. His statement was something along those lines. After that, President Trump hit back at him, saying that this Pope knows absolutely nothing about international relations, war-related matters, or issues concerning peace. He really should stick to matters specifically related to his church, talk about religious issues, and not interfere in our affairs. Those were not his exact words, but that was the message. Following that, Marco Rubio also issued a statement, as did J.D. Vance. But now, finally, Marco Rubio has arrived in Rome, and it's being said he wants to do some pleading or try to smooth things over. Because after that, as you know, many Christians all around the world, and specifically within Christianity, there are actually two major factions. The faction that tends to follow the Pope more closely is extremely upset about this. In Italy, even the Italian Prime Minister, who was considered very close to President Trump, has distanced herself from him since then. She publicly distanced herself and stated that President Trump should not have attacked the Pope in such a manner, especially with those verbal attacks. So that's the second development. The third development is also from the battlefield, where Marco Rubio is saying that the war is now over. Now we just need to reopen the Strait of Hormuz and return things to how they were before the war. Now people can't figure out if this is an announcement of defeat or victory, because if a war is fought and won, then it's the loser who has to return things to the status quo. The winner usually has control over the situation. But based on what Marco Rubio is saying, it seems that things were fine before the war, then the war happened and ruined them, and now America is negotiating to fix those things. Now use your own judgment and ask yourself who won and who lost in this. Now let's move to the news I mentioned about the 28th Amendment. Whenever Chaudhry Sahib pushes for such an amendment, it's usually because he has a personal stake in it. Remember when he became Chief of Defense Forces? Until the very last minute, no one knew what was in that constitutional amendment. When he secured a lifelong exemption, extended his tenure, and arranged all those things for his reappointment after retirement, as you know the army chief did. At that particular time, the constitutional draft for the amendment was something that absolutely no one, not a single person, had even the slightest hint of or even the faintest glimpse of. They brought it in very suddenly, right at the very last minute, held a vote on it without any prior warning, and then managed to get it passed. Now, the issue is something else. In this, Asim Munir was supposed to take all the powers for himself, but now the 28th Amendment is coming. Chaudhry Sahab has already prepared its draft. But Chaudhry Sahab isn't letting anyone get a whiff of it. Now, a major point in this is that Chaudhry Sahab wants to take back the money given to the provinces under the 18th Amendment. I told you recently that health and education too. At the same time, some say that perhaps some powers of the president might go to Chaudhry Sahab, meaning Mian Asim Munir. But now no one knows the draft. Those whose political lives are to be decided, in whose looting a new partner is to emerge, they don't know what's going to happen to them, even though they are the ones who have to pass it by voting. Now, they have requested the Pakistan Bar Council through Ahsan Bhoon and others to get them the draft. Now, a request has been made from the Pakistan Bar Council Forum that the draft of the 28th Amendment be given to us so we can examine it. Now, the point being made is that through Ahsan Bhoon, the government should be shown the draft of the 28th Amendment once. On one hand, they are playing Prime Minister, playing Foreign Minister, she is playing Chief Minister. I mean, like you know in childhood, the wedding of dolls takes place. It's not real, it's a fake. But children act as if everything is going right, and they even believe it. These poor souls also sometimes feel like they actually hold all these positions. But the reality is that Chaudhry Nizamuddin isn't letting them even catch a glimpse of their own political future. Now, whether the lawyers' forums like the Pakistan Bar Council can get it for them or not, I don't think they will be able to. Because if Chaudhry Sahab has a very specific agenda, then the constitutional draft will come forward at the last minute. After that, Chief Justice Yahya Afridi has now called a meeting of the Supreme Judicial Council on May 14th. In that, finally now, although they have held this Judicial Council meeting several times before or postponed it, but finally now regarding the letter written by the 6 judges, that the ISI blackmails us, our relatives are picked up and given electric shocks on sensitive parts, and attempts are made to force us to take decisions against Imran Khan. Now, this matter of those judges has to be considered, discussed. More than a year has passed, and now, or maybe even 1.5 to 2 years have passed, and only now is that letter from the judges being discussed. It should be remembered here that one of those judges has been removed from his position by falsely declaring his degree fake after 25 to 30 years. 3 judges have been transferred. As for the remaining 1 or 2, one has been brought over to their side, and for the other one remaining, they will make arrangements shortly. So, I mean, whether you discuss the judge's letter now or not, it doesn't matter. Well, about Afridi Sahab, I will say this about Yahya Afridi Sahab. When I was with the Prime Minister, and I'll tell you the truth, with complete honesty, I spent my whole life thinking that we Punjabis have this disease of giving in, of lying down. In Punjabi, we say daijana, meaning to collapse, and not standing up. I always fantasized that our brothers, the Pathans or the Baloch or those from other provinces, were perhaps better than us. I mean, as quickly as we lie down before any adventurer. They probably don't give in quite as quickly as we do. They don't lie down and they make a stand. So, within our own team, there was a very senior personality, I won't name him. He wasn't a political man nor a military one. He was in a very senior position. One day he said to me, we were just sitting and talking, the Prime Minister wasn't there, we were talking besides him, but you could say his core team. So I said the same thing, that I wish the same attitude existed in Punjab as well, which I feel exists in KPK. At that time, our government was still in power. I wish this was the attitude, then things in the country would be much better. So he replied to me, you are Punjabi, that's why you understand the affairs of Punjab very well. He said, I am a Pathan, I can only tell you this, when a Pathan falls, even the Punjabis will be left astonished. Yahya Afridi has proven him right. That personality, what he told me, I didn't believe it even then. But what Yahya Afridi has done for a seat for this position of his, the stain, he has rubbed, I won't say on his face, but on his name, on his tribe, on his region, and the thoughts people like me had in our minds that maybe these people are a bit different, they don't kneel like us or like the rest of the country's length and breadth. He has proven to me that no, they stand in the same row. Mahmud and Ayaz, neither the master remained nor the servant. When it comes to kneeling, whether it's a Pathan or a Punjabi or some other Baloch, Sindhi, anyone from any nationality, we are Pakistanis. And in the same way, wherever we see an adventurer in front of us and see our own benefit, we lie down collectively. And this is now clear to me at least. My misunderstanding has been enlightened. I've understood. Now, obviously, those of you who are Punjabi will feel bad that why did I say earlier that they kneel quickly? Those who are Pathans will be feeling bad now that why is he saying this about them? The Baloch will also be feeling bad that you've dragged us in from a third side. Sindhis, Urdu speakers, Kashmiris, Gilgit, Baltistan, everyone will feel bad hearing this. But I'm telling you, as a nation, we are all in the same state. I don't consider anyone. What was in my mind, right? That so-and-so is perhaps a bit more courageous, so-and-so a bit less. It's just, I can only say this, that from their own places, like from some spots, a peak looks higher, but once you're there, it seems lower, and the one behind looks taller. So this mirage, viewed from different angles, looks different. Actually, when the entire nation's collective morality is ruined, it operates beyond regions and borders, reaching far and wide. On the other hand, they're already doing this, like Mr. Afridi, Yahya Afridi, who's only now hearing that those judges wrote a letter. So why make a mockery of yourself now? They've been transferred. That whole story is over. The Islamabad High Court itself is finished. They've put Sarfraz Dogar in charge. You've looted the court, so why are you blackening your own face over this whole case, and why are you becoming a laughingstock? Moving on. Justice Mohsin Akhtar Kayani, Justice Babar Sattar, and others who were transferred from one high court to another, they had just been transferred when, from their homes, all staff were called back. Their cars and everything were taken back, even though a few days are usually given because they've obviously gone to the next high court where they'll get a car and stuff. I mean, guards and all. So a little time is always given for transition in such positions because there are security issues too. But as soon as the transfer notification arrived, they called everything back. This is very regrettable, I'll say this, it's very shameful. But this is a small shame compared to the big things they've done, like their transfer. Now let's come to Mr. Chaudhry, the little Chaudhry. There's a big Chaudhry and a little Chaudhry. The little Chaudhry is our DGISPR. Let's talk about him. Asma Shirazi asked him a question. Now, I always criticize her, the official pilgrim, the woman card, all that. But today her question was valid. She should be praised for the question she asked, and you know the reasons, whether it's Absar Alam or others. Everyone right now, the wing of Nawaz Sharif that's currently in the media, whether it's the 28th Amendment or something else, they're trying to push the generals back a bit to create some space. Although they don't realize they'll have to work for the same pay. In fact, they'll have to take two political, I'm saying political, not physical slaps. They'll have to take two political slaps and work for the same pay. But they're trying, their media wing is certainly trying. Asma Shirazi asked a question. It was valid. The same question we put before you before. India has cut off our water. We won the war against India. So why can't we get this water released? When will it open? What answer did he give? In it, he called himself an instrument of violence and also said that this decision is for the people and the government to make whether to use us or not. Just listen to what he called himself, instrument of violence. You must pay special attention to this. Listen to the question and listen to the answer.
But the water war still persists, and you might have heard the recent news that India is blocking water in the Chenab. So if this water is blocked, what is our strategy and what is our plan of action regarding this?
We are the final instrument of violence in the hands of the state of Pakistan and the people of Pakistan. When, where, and how to use this instrument of violence, this authority lies with the people of Pakistan and the government of Pakistan. You heard that. Now, there are two things here. First, that joke, the DGISPR, is quite a joker, He mocked us by saying the people and the government will decide. That same poor government that doesn't even have the draft for the 28th Amendment. The same government that lacks the draft for the 27th Amendment. That poor Bilawal, whose one call was intercepted and his page was literally torn up. I mean, you understand, right? These poor guys can't even transfer an SSP or a DIG of their own accord, yet they claim this government and the people. You've already stolen the mandate from February 8th, so how are the people supposed to decide which war you should fight or not? So, on one hand, he's a joker saying they'll decide whether to use us or not. Secondly, he called themselves an instrument of violence, a violent institution, a tool, or you could say a machine. Now, many things that are professional jargon are meant to be used within that field, not for communicating with the general public. This is something professors teach at a very basic undergraduate level when teaching communication skills, that you don't use your professional jargon. Whether it's about computer technology, for instance, if you explain, I have this bad habit of giving examples, and some of you who are very intelligent get annoyed when I give simple, easy examples. They wonder why I drag it out when they already know. They don't realize I also have to consider the elderly mother in Dera Ghazi Khan watching my vlog. And I also have to bring along the distinguished doctors who are currently sitting in Washington, D.C., or Dallas, Texas, or Los Angeles, California, and who are listening to my vlog. So please bear with me just a little bit longer. For example, you watch TV, you buy a new TV. On that TV, there are different things, like pixels, meaning how clear the picture is in simple terms. Or if the images inside are changing very rapidly, then the technology involved, obviously superior technology, will maintain clarity even if scenes change very quickly. Inferior technology will cause the image to blur when scenes change rapidly, like when people play games or during a specific movie scene. The picture will get blurry. Now, when television brands make new models, they mention that it has this specific technology. Often, tech companies make the mistake of not explaining how it benefits you. Instead, they just give you the name of their technology. For example, they say, and I'm not naming any specific technology just to explain, they say it has this much alpha, this much beta, and this much of that. Now, that's your scientific talk. You should tell people that its resolution is 2 times better. Its resolution is 3 times better, and you should demonstrate that improvement. Then the average person will understand that this TV has louder sound than the other one, or that the picture will stay clear during fast-paced scene changes. So you speak to people according to their understanding. Doctors who perform autopsies don't tell anyone before or after the procedure that they're going to cut open your father, mother, brother, or child's stomach like this, or that they'll remove certain things in this manner and then do this to them in this way. Obviously, they know what they have to do, and maybe we know too, but there are many things you just don't say. Similarly, the great scholars of political science obviously say that the police and the army are organs or machines used by the state to exercise power. Now, if they read this in some book, some dull book, or in a training course, then it was a very incompetent teacher who didn't tell them that this is for discussion within that community, not for the general. But, sir, you don't say these things. Instead of calling it an instrument of violence or an instrument that inflicts violence, you could have said it's a government instrument that possesses force, strength, and power that can be utilized. If you want to show someone what a rope is, you can show it as a noose, or you can show it as a loop or a hook to rescue someone who has fallen down a mountain, whether it's a car or a person we need to pull out. If you want to show someone a knife, you can show it cutting a melon, or you can show it ripping open someone's stomach. So, Director General, you are the DG ISPR, a Lieutenant General. Sometimes you mispronounce 58, and sometimes you publicly tell people that we, the Air Force, Navy, and Army, are an instrument of violence. My brother, you are not in a military training session. Common people are listening here. This is impolite. This is rude. How should I put it? It's completely unrefined. I mean, given the position you speak from, sometimes you say, ponder, come out, come from above, come from below. Didn't I make it fun? I mean, this is not nice. Anyway, it's not like you're going to listen. You'll just keep doing what you're doing. But I was very surprised that you're calling yourselves an instrument of violence. Though actually you're right, given what you did on May 26th. I mean November 26th. And Dastik, and then everything you orchestrated on May 9th as well. So you are indeed an instrument of violence. And you don't even realize that after everything you've done, you shouldn't be using this terminology at all. Moving on, we talked about military trials yesterday too. You really are an instrument of violence because as of May 7th, which was yesterday, it's been a full year of conducting military trials, obtaining permission through forced and fraudulent means from the Supreme Court, and the atrocities you've committed against the people. It has been a full year now, and you still haven't granted them the permission they needed to appeal in the High Court. Then, as usual, we are back to the same old news. An operation against militants in Hangu, 6 people killed by mortar shells. Azizullah Khan reported for the BBC that during an operation against militants in the Hangu district of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, 6 people died when mortar shells hit a residential area. Now, I just don't understand that these militants, where were they during the days of negotiations? And why weren't our cannons firing shells at them then? And where was the BBC? Why weren't they reporting it? I just can't understand this. You have to tell me why everything went on holiday. The entire operation and the others too. Did they get busy? Or what exactly was the reason? I couldn't get it. Anyway, as I told you, things have heated up again lately. Tout journalists and who knows what else have been unleashed again. There is Iftikhar Ahmed, a very senior colleague of ours from Lahore. He used to work with Jang and Geo. I am not sure who he is with these days. People affectionately call him Iftikhar Fitna. Now, I am not saying this to be rude, but like how people sometimes say a child is a real fitna or a troublemaker. I think they call him fitna out of affection. He probably stirs things up among friends, which is why they say it. It is not like he went and planted an atom bomb in India. There is a public perception that he has a very close association with the PMLN. Then, regarding the Punjab Horticulture Department, people have been telling many stories about what his interest was there and what benefits he kept receiving from it. So he always, my impression is that he speaks like a PMLN worker. But he gets very angry because he is an old school journalist and says, I am a senior. Accept me as a full journalist. When you do not. Just like Asma Shirazi plays the woman card, he plays the same card saying Mr. Gill is being rude or so-and-so is being rude. He claims they do not know how to talk or how to address seniors. Yes, do not you dare talk about all these achievements of his, like the horticulture matter or his association with the Sharif family. Then you should maintain your sir and Mr. respect. If you see everything, see all these things about our elder here and just close your eyes, then it is fine. Then he will be good to you, he will praise you, and you can praise him. So fine, do not praise us, it is okay. May God keep you happy. Anyway, he said that what PTI has done is unprecedented in the country's history. To this, Izar Rana, right then and there, as they say, fix the puncture on the spot. See what kind of puncture Izar Rana fixed. Listen.
As Iftikhar Bhai was just saying, political parties have done a lot of similar things in the past. Didn't a wing of the People's Party hijack a plane?
Are you talking about Al-Zulfikar?
Yes, exactly. Didn't Mr. Nawaz Sharif have an army chief's plane hijacked? Could there be a more heinous crime than that? Right.
You heard that. He asked, didn't the People's Party hijack a plane? Didn't Nawaz Sharif hijack Musharraf's plane? After that, the light in the lamps has faded. Yes, Fitna ji. Iftikhar Fitna Sahab then said that, well, the truth is I've spoken to many people, but I couldn't find out if Nawaz Sharif was involved in this matter or not. Perhaps it was an action taken at a lower level. But everyone knows about May 9th, that Imran Khan was involved in it. What kind of people are you? Anyway, let's move on. The next news. The journey from promises to fulfillment. Mariam Nawaz promised before the election, not just Mariam, but Hamza Shehbaz Sharif, all of them, that we will give you free electricity up to 200 units. Now, the government has decided that not free electricity, but the subsidy they used to give to the poorest man, meaning for 200 units, they are ending that too. Imran Khan had told the poor that I will be able to bear it, but you won't be able to. The unit is already 60, 70, 80 rupees. Now, when this subsidy is gone, where will the matter go? You can think for yourself. Can people pay the bills? We had placed the bill for one unit before you, 4,000 and some 100 rupees for one unit. So now where will the matter go? You all must have realized when this subsidy is removed. But what did Mariam Sahiba used to say? Listen.
Every house will have electricity. Every house will have gas. Electricity bills will also decrease, God willing. And our effort is that all those people below 200 units should get free electricity, God willing.
You heard it. Now let's move forward a bit. On the other hand, Pakistan's Field Marshal Sahab had said that now Pakistan has to progress. The question is, how fast does it have to progress upwards? So today's news is that Mitsubishi has sold the investment they had in Pakistan and they are leaving Pakistan. It's a Japanese company. Well, on one hand, the electricity subsidy, etc. has been ended. Mitsubishi is leaving. But to favor the elite hired a big lawyer from the court, a prominent lawyer, and got relief for themselves in the property sector. They nullified 7E. A new tax was imposed. If you have money, no one will return the subsidy taken from the poor on 200 units. But here a tax was imposed, the big property tycoons, the big DHA and others. They hired a powerful lawyer and got relief from the court. After that, Barrister Gohar Sahab made a new tweet saying he was told again, as happens every day, that whenever they bring Bushra Bibi or Imran Khan Sahab to the hospital at night, the next day they make Barrister Gohar Sahab tweet that the general gentleman that they just told me they took them. Barrister Sahab, you are older than me, with great respect. You shouldn't be facilitating them like this. I'm sorry to say, you shouldn't even post this tweet. When news has broken on all media and has been running everywhere for 18 to 20 hours, then why provide them cover? If they told you at night, you're still wrong to wait until morning. And if they didn't tell you at night but in the morning, why tweet about it, saying, I've just been told and so on? Instead, tell the one informing you, look, you're a senior man. Why are you putting me in this position? Why defame me? Why get me insulted? You didn't tell me at night, now they're back in jail and it's already in the news. Why do you want me to tweet? This is the third or fourth time, Gohar Sahib, that you've provided cover for them by tweeting this. Please don't do it. I understand you're a decent man. They use you, they pressure you. But it's your choice, right? You can refuse to tweet if no one informs you on time. By God, I don't mean to be disrespectful. You're older than me. Just consider that I'm humbly requesting you not to do this. It's an insult to your position what's being done to you. Done. Anyway, there was more news, but please allow me to take my leave. May God be your protector and helper. Long live Pakistan.